Hey you guys, welcome back to another episode of Say Something with Chere. This episode, I get to bring my husband back and I'm so excited. We get to sit down with my good friend, Rhonda Anita, and she gets to drill us about who we are as the Munns, who I've become as Mrs. Munn. So I'm excited to share this journey with you all. I will see you on the set.
Everybody's here now. We got something to talk about. Just have to see, yeah, we're gonna talk it out. Say something, that's what we're gonna do.
Welcome back to another episode of Say Something with Chere. And I'm your girl, Rhonda Anita. And guess what? We have a special treat for you. Today we are talking about marriage. And we have your host, Chere Munn, and her husband, Patrick Munn. Let's welcome them back to the show today, Mr. and Mrs. Munn. Oh, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yes.
Thank you so much
Yes.
for having us on my show.
On your show.
Right.
Your show. I'm so proud of you.
I thank you
Oh
so
my
much.
gosh, y'all. I have been waiting for this for a long time.
I've been waiting for you. Nobody but Rhonda can get
Yeah.
this interview, right?
Oh my gosh. The last time, it was so organic. We had a
It
conversation.
It was.
And I learned about your story. So I do have some questions.
Okay.
'Cause I know the people want to know. We want to know who this man is, right? Y'all seen the snippet of it, but we really want to know who took our girl off the market.
Well, that'd be I.
That'd be
That'd be I. That's me.
But you know what? I just want everybody to know that when we had that conversation, it was so organic. I was crying and I just felt in love. I felt so much love from you guys. I fell in love with you, not only from what we see on TikTok and how you play together, but I actually got to see the whole story and see the connection. I thank you for allowing me to share this opportunity with your
Absolutely.
audience, because I think it's something everybody needs to hear.
All right. We got it from
So let's get into it. My favorite couple, y'all. My favorite couple.
Thank you.
So tell the audience, how did you guys meet and what was the first impression that you had of each other?
We met in junior high school, 7th grade. First impression.
He didn't see me as He didn't see me.
I did. I just didn't pursue.
He saw all the girls.
I saw Chere, but I didn't pursue Chere. Chere was just cool. She was my friend. You know, she was respected by her friends. So that was the first thing I saw, the respect that she got from her friends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, she cool.
She still do this day, right?
Yes, that's her. It's just her.
Thank you. And I thought he was cute. His personality was cute. I never thought he was that cute. It was,
You can't change
you
it.
don't like them dimples? He had swag, okay? He had swag and he had nappy afro. He swore it was a nappy, but he had so much personality. He was the popular guy. He was the athletic, and he was fun. So, but I think from day one, interacting with him and hanging out with him in school, I always felt safe with him. Even though people know him to be a fighter, his family, but I felt safe with him all the time. So that's probably where the connection initially just grew.
Yeah. So that was your impression. You were safe. You felt safe. So listen, I know.
Here we go.
We got all these questions, but like 7th grade until now, how did let's journey a little bit.
Oh gosh,
I don't know where to start. So
a
you,
lot of heartache. So from 7th grade, we were friends.
yes.
Patrick was very active, way more active than I was. Okay, my mom didn't let me out. Patrick was out doing his thing and pumping on girls and stuff. You know, I wasn't allowed to be pumping around. But he was very advanced, and so he was so popular, but he was a good friend. And so then we got into high school. I became more active, and my mom was really strict. Patrick was very active, a little more loose. But in high school, we realized that we began to like each other. We knew we liked each other.
Yes.
Never said it. We actually never dated in high school. Patrick had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 girlfriends. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He had all these girlfriends, but he and I were still so close, and the girls knew it. So it was kind of like, it was understood didn't need to be explained. We never officially dated, but every prom, snow coming, I was always his escort.
That was my date.
Even though he had girlfriends.
Even if I had a girlfriend.
Yeah, so we knew we were in love in high school.
Right.
literally. And but we didn't act on it. And I think I didn't want to date because I wasn't having sex, and I thought, well, I knew he was, so I didn't want to have sex. So we never dated officially.
Right.
After high school, well, he started having kids. After high school, we moved our separate ways. So in high school, that's what it was. That was the story in high school. We knew we were in love. We never dated. But after high school, we still kept in touch. Patrick had children and moved in with women and stuff. And then I started dating and I had a baby. And then we got ready to move to Atlanta. Well, I got ready to move to Atlanta. I was coming out of an abusive relationship, and Patrick was to come with me. We came to Atlanta. We found an apartment while we both were living with other people in relationships. We came here. We found an apartment, and we went back home. We had 30 days to come back to Atlanta. When it was time to come back to Atlanta, Patrick went missing. Okay, couldn't find Patrick anywhere. And I decided to leave. I had a 3-year-old, and I decided to leave anyway. I came to Atlanta, and then
Before we go there, excuse me, I wasn't able to be found. I wasn't ready for the move. So instead of just saying I ain't ready, I said come find me.
and I couldn't find him.
So,
My whole family was looking for him before me.
Wow.
Yes, my mom too. Because I didn't even tell her because I knew my mom would tell it. Well, he over.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
So there was a whole journey of this on and off again, and,
Yes.
and you finding each other, and now
we never lost each other.
We never lost.
Yeah,
I
phone
came
call
here.
away.
He ended up going to jail. He did 7 years. That's when we officially started dating. When he got
When I got
arrested, I
locked
wanted
up.
to just like be there for him as my best friend. By this time, we knew we were soulmates. We were best friends, and I could never imagine the fact that he was about to go do time for something that he didn't do. So that lasted about 6 months, and then
she dumped me.
I dumped him.
She dumped me.
why?
She dumped me because I was about to do 7 years.
Yes.
And she felt, I'm saying it because you put too much energy in it when you say it. She felt that when I come out of there, I wouldn't, I was known to have more than one woman. I'm going to be that player still. I ain't going to know how to write a check. He ain't going to know how to work a phone.
He got a felony.
And
How you
yes,
gonna get a
there was a
job?
list of things that she thought would be me when I came home. None of that was right.
So I broke up with him.
Yeah, so she let me go after about 6 months.
And then I got married. And then Patrick got out of jail and found out I was married.
Yes.
And
So I didn't know
then-
she was married.
Wait, we got to pause for a second.
Yeah,
We gotta
we'll
pause for a
pause.
second.
Okay.
I want to commend you, Patrick,
For?
for who he has become.
Oh,
like
man.
we just glossed over the fact that this man went to jail for something he didn't do.
Yes.
And he came out and he reinvented himself and went for the love of his life. And he's thriving and he's a role model.
Yes.
And he is strong and he loves you.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That is something that, a lot of us would have disqualified him for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm emotional because I know you and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you guys never lost each other.
Yes.
But
No.
you
even though we both got married to other people, we were
that is
still
crazy.
Yes.
we were still connected, sneaking calling each other. Our family was like calling each other for us.
They would bring, when she come into town, they would bring her to where I'm at
I
or
would
tell me
sneak
where
to
she
see him,
is and
His
we'll
mom
meet
would
up.
call me on the 3-way so we could talk, and
Yes.
it was just like it really was one of those things where we were each other's hiding place.
Correct.
Whenever it got tough in life, I would just say, I just need to get to Patrick. His arms since high school have just been like, everything is gonna be okay. And so even when I moved to Atlanta alone, I was going through things. I would drive back home, like if I can just get to Patrick's arms, not tell him everything that's going on, just needed him to hold me. And for him,
I just needed to hear her voice.
he just needed to hear me.
That's it.
So he would call with his mom on the phone, and I would talk to his mom, but the whole time I found out he was on the phone. He just wanted to hear
That's
me
it.
talk.
Once I heard her voice, I know she's okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like if I can hear her voice, I know she's good.
What is it about him that you love? What is it about her that you love?
I let you go first. Doing my Ola meals.
I love his gentleness. He is a protector by nature, but I love that he's gentle. I love his heart, and I love the fact that he loves me. he loves me.
Yes, he does.
He is a very kind and patient man. He teaches me patience, and I think that's us being married is way more better than what I thought was in high school. I love him more than I even thought I could. He teaches me patience, and that is something that nobody's been able to teach me. So God sent him. He must have.
Yes, I believe God sent me, but also believe he sent her to me. Because I'm still learning things that I thought, I got this, I've been on that. And she'll let me know, like, you really don't know about those things. So this is what you should learn about them. And it helps me though, because my way of thinking sometimes is just my way of thinking. But I just love her giving spirit. So she'll give and she'll give. Even when she shouldn't give, she'll give. So I love that. There's not much that I don't love about Chere. So I'm just gonna sum it up with, she's my everything.
She's your everything.
She is completely my everything.
And thank you for sharing her with us.
Absolutely.
We pull on her a lot.
Absolutely.
And he come right along down here.
Then we be like, where's Patrick?
They start looking for you. Put him in
So
the crew.
She's like,
Just
I
like
like to
5K
keep my
high.
friends to myself. We like, yeah, but
I'm like,
Patrick
Patrick is not a part of the crew. And
Trying to pay me a 5K hottie.
He's a
I'm a
5K
5K hottie, and I don't want to be a hottie.
He's so supportive. He's so supportive.
Yeah, he is. So is there ever too much sharing in a marriage? Too much TMI?
So
I would say no.
No.
There's no such thing as TMI.
I say yes.
Oh, okay.
I say yes to a certain extent.
Okay.
So, like she said, we've been friends since 7th grade. And some of the things that she'll say, I just have to be like, my wife ain't supposed to tell me that. But I have to remember, like, this is my best friend. So we still share those kind of things, those best friend things.
We've always told each other everything, even about other people that we've dated.
Right.
So I look at him like, my friend. So even just not too long ago, I think I was, my menstrual cycle had came on. So I was calling back and I was like, I was just in there standing up and it just come gushing down. Now I got to go change.
Too much.
I'm talking to him like he a whole girlfriend. Okay?
TMI.
I'm like,
See what I'm
I
saying?
get it.
So that's why I say TMI.
He was like, Karina, do you want to come talk to your mother? 'Cause
Right. This is not for me. This one, I can't cover this one.
What?
I'm really only an ear right now because the rest of me is not here. But yeah, that's the TMI. that
I
I'm
tell
talking
him
about.
everything, and look, sometimes he's just like, even guys, I'm like, he tried to holler at me, and then this happened. He's just like, I don't need to hear about that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's the TMI for me. Outside of that, there's no TMI.
Transparency and
Yes.
openness.
Yeah,
What's your biggest lesson that you've learned from each other?
I've learned patience from Patrick. I've learned that
You're still working on it,
I'm still working on it.
but you are.
Patrick can handle me when it comes to patience.
Yeah.
It-
She'll often say that. She'll say,
No.
Patrick says, and we're like, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but she do. She's like, Patrick says.
Nobody can handle me. Literally, no other man. It had to only be Patrick. I meet guys to this day and they're like, oh, we could have been X, Y, Z. No, we couldn't, because Patrick would have always been on the
Yes.
side. Like, you would have never had me. So I did it. I did the right thing, and,
Yes.
and he teaches me patience. So that's the biggest thing, and he teaches me how to love unconditionally.
Okay.
He has definitely taught me that. I thought I knew love, and I do know love, but Patrick has taught me a whole nother dimension of what love is. So
Like that. Well, we're like, well, yeah.
When he smiles at you.
To kind of not take her answer, but she taught me patience as well. In the sense of, I like to handle things now.
Okay.
And, she likes to process it first. And I move now. And she like, well, hold on, let's look at this first. I jump out there. You got a great idea, honey. Let's move.
Right.
And she like,
She
hold
did
on.
say that about you.
She'll say, hold on. Let's look at this and let me do this first and let me get all these things in order. And then I'm like, well, we just did it.
Yes.
But the
like,
correct
I want
way.
to open up this. He come up the next morning. Here's 10 buildings available. I'm like,
Right.
wait a minute. I
So,
didn't.
because it's a great idea. And if you don't move on it, you'll lose it. Or it sits on the shelf for too long.
That's him.
So she's taught me that as well. she has also taught me how to love as well. I'm using yours, but they're perfect for us. I love hard, soft as well, but I want you to know that you're being loved. So she let me know, like, it's good to love me, but let's hold up. You know what I mean? So I'm like, no, I'm smothering you with this. I've had this for you for a long time, so let me give it all to you. So,
You have me in chokehold sometimes.
and then my last thing that I could say, she helped me get closer to God. I have a relationship with him, but it was just that. Like, I know he's there. I know who got me when my times are hard, but she showed me another level of that. And for that, I am appreciative. And I'm still learning with that.
That's beautiful. Wow. My favorite couple.
As
date night, as dating influencers, I don't know what to call it. Is it
date night influencers?
Date night influencers. What is your idea of a romantic date night?
Romantic for me.
What's their date night? King of date nights.
And you guys do date nights every month for each other, right?
We do.
Is it every month or every other week?
Every month.
Every month we go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you got it.
We
I'm gonna answer the
we
question.
date all the time, but it's on the calendar every month, and we rotate who has to plan that month. So we know the whole year whose turn it is, and we put emphasis on plan because no matter how busy life gets, we have to remember that we're married. This is my partner, my life partner, and the person who holds me down while I can go out here and do everything else. And so there's been a couple times where I'm like, oh shoot, it's my month and it's the end of the month. And then here I am trying to scramble something together. And I've had to actually go to him and ask for forgiveness because that's not what date night is about. I'm not supposed to rush and put something together. He deserves more than that. And so I just asked, could I go into the next month? But making it not a habit that I plan. And so now it should be on the calendar. At the top of the month, we should know already where it's going to fall.
The date should be set.
Yeah.
You could put it together later, but that date should be on that calendar, and that's the time you have to get it together.
Yeah.
Romantic for me, to go back to your question, I would have to say, like, I like going out. I want to go out, let me see it all.
Okay.
But romantic is just being in the house, watching a movie in the tent, which is something that one of the date nights that we had that my wife surprised me with, that we didn't leave the house. She told me, get ready, get your clothes. And when I came out, there was no clothes. So I come out the room looking like, what? And there was a fort made with some little finger foods. And we had the laptop, and we watched a movie. We went inside there, and it really felt peaceful. And we was no longer sitting as grown-ups. We were young again,
kids.
watching, so it was beautiful. So that to me was romantic. That was a romantic
That
thing
is
for me.
so beautiful.
And that was even a date night. That was because he had a hard day at work. So when he got home, I was like, I'm going to build the fort so he can crawl under it and escape everything that happened.
And it worked. It worked. I consider that a date because I was like,
it was really
it's just
nice.
me and you. Like, there's nothing. Me and you and them people that's on that TV. Nobody else exists right now. And it was perfect.
It was.
Do you guys ever argue?
I say yes.
I say no. We have discussions. So
What do you call it though? What do you call it?
I don't
We
know.
have smoke.
Yeah.
We be like, we have smoke.
Yeah, it's not really, I don't want to argue because arguments, you go too far, and I don't want to go too far because I don't want to lose what I have. So we'll be a little smoke,
We have.
be a little smoke,
We
and
do.
then
We have heated discussion.
that's where I say my patience is learned because I want to deal with whatever that smoke is right now. We ain't gonna let this ignite into a fire.
Right.
It's something going on. It's heating up, but
Yeah.
no, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
And she'll say, "Give me a minute." So now I got to pull it back.
Because my mouth is,
I
it
gotta
can
pull it
go.
back.
But with Patrick, we don't argue. And it's literally like, I don't like to argue. I don't like conflict. I really just shut up and just walk away from anybody, a relationship, because I come from an abusive relationship. My mom was abusive. So I've seen a lot of abuse. And so I don't want to yell. If you want to make me cry, cuss at me. If somebody curses me out, it hurts me to the core. I'd rather you hit me. So arguing to me, it feels like a failure. And I don't ever want to upset him. I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to disappoint him. And so if we argue, I'll say something mean. You can't take words back. And so I just get quiet because this is really my best friend. This guy has my back. Like, that man take care of me. So we try not to argue, but we do have discussions, and I just get quiet. And he is the one who makes sure we start talking again.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we got to go back and revisit that. And,
yeah.
Because there would be no you sleep on the couch and I sleep in the bed. Because if she's in the bed and she get up and go to the couch, guess what?
I gotta tell you this. This is how God had to check me. I had an attitude at myself because I had put some expectations on myself that I couldn't meet. And so I just had a bad day and I took it out on Patrick, and he can wonder like, what is wrong? And I was just like snapping. And so I went to bed that night and I had restless legs, but still because I was carrying and things in my head. So I get up and get on the couch. Patrick comes out and he's like, you got restless legs. And I was like, what you think?
Right.
What it looked like.
Right. Yeah, what it looked
All
like.
day I haven't said nothing to him. And so he gets up and walk away. And so I just covered my head with the covers. This man come back out. He done went and got the essential oils and he's rubbing my legs, massaging them so that they can relax. I felt so little. I was under there repenting like, God, I'm so sorry. This is so stupid. I'm just going off. And it was just another moment to remind me that no matter what, like that's the love that he teaches me. Because I probably wouldn't have been rubbing his feet after you treat me like crap all day. But yeah, that's just one of the things that he does.
She told us about that.
I felt so stupid, and I was like, "Oh, you stupid!"
She told us.
She told you about that?
Yes. And when she
Now
when
you
she
all
doesn't,
know as well.
Yeah, and when she don't plan the date night and she forgets, she tells us about that, and she's just like, so yeah, I know her intentions are
The
good.
rescue team.
And that's what I had to tell her when she was like, I just want to apologize. I'm like, it's cool. I'm like, I know you were busy. Like, it was a lot going on. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, all right. She's like, so next month, I know it's your month, but I got you. Yeah.
Second time married.
Oh God.
You both took a gasp of air. I mean, I think we can all attest that it's probably bliss, and but you've had some disagreements, you've had some challenges you had to go through. Tell me something that you've learned from your last marriage that you've implemented in this one that you've learned and it's made you a better husband or wife this time around.
Mine would be to say something. My previous marriage was I was with a person that just shut down, and I let him shut down. 2 weeks, no conversation, not one word, not good morning, not hi. I learned, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you your time, but you had about this much time, because we coming back to it and we're gonna clear it up and then we're gonna be fine. And that was something that I learned. Like,
That's good.
To actually not plug in the show, but to say something instead of just saying, all right, I'll roll with it. You wanna be quiet, and keep it moving. So yeah.
And I've learned that if it's important to him, it's important to me. I know in my previous marriage, I just felt like some stuff just was common sense, and some stuff just didn't make sense, and it was just like, why you felt like that? And I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to deal with it. But no matter how small or minute it is, if it's important to him, it should be important to me. So
I think that's important. I've been divorced twice, and that's the reflective part of healing, is to say, what have I done? Not what the person did, but what have I done so that I can heal that wound, not to repeat it again the next time.
Right.
Because I want to live the best version of myself.
You have to.
absolutely.
Yes, especially with the person that I said I do to.
Exactly.
Can you lose yourself in a marriage, though? Can you do that? And is it okay? Is it okay to lose yourself?
I think so. I think that you can lose yourself in a good way. It is okay, because when we got married, it was in the middle of the pandemic. And I was going through a lot with Say Something and just acting and just job, work was not coming through. But when Patrick came to Georgia, what I had realized what I was missing was happiness. Now I'm always happy and bubbly, but I was just grinding all the time.
Yes.
And here in Atlanta, we grind, And so in that shutdown season, what I was missing, and my daughter, I had just come out of separation anxiety. My daughter left for college. So I was missing the happiness for me. Everything that I do is for my daughter or for somebody else. And I finally had a moment. And so I did. I literally just lost myself in this bliss with a man who loved me. We had fun together. And it was every day. A lot of people didn't make it out of the pandemic. Here we are getting together and we're stuck in the house every single day. And not once did we get tired of each other. It literally was like joy. So I did lose myself. I did put some things on the back burner as far as career goals wise. But and at the end of the day, I don't regret it. But yeah, and it's okay to lose yourself.
Yeah, longer you can always find yourself. So she said, like right now, relaunch of the show. She let it go for a minute, but it's back. I mean, it's okay to lose yourself.
Yes,
That's awesome.
you can.
I know the answer, but what is the foundation of your marriage?
God.
Absolutely,
God.
without a doubt.
God.
Without a doubt.
We have been through some things, and hopefully you'll come back and interview that part.
Yeah.
We have a story that we will be releasing prayerfully this year. I'm gonna cry. It's very detrimental to my husband's life, and it has tested our marriage, but not to the point to where it made it rocky. But if we hadn't had God as our foundation, we wouldn't be where we are. We would never have made it because it was so in depth and consuming that without God, and even though he's learned more about God, being with myself, I still push him more. But I see that even when we do have discussions where I don't want to talk, heated discussions, Patrick will send me a prayer. Like, I know you don't want to talk, but I just want to say, Father God, I pray that you deal with whatever, and I'm sitting there mad at you and you're sending me a prayer. So it's God that keeps us rooted and grounded when the outside comes in and I get frustrated. And when we be able to share that story, you understand why it's so important for us to share that. But it's God.
That's our foundation.
Awesome. This question is for Patrick. It's not on my cards. As women, we rally around each other. We support each other. We actually raise each other. And we send each other out into the world to go and be great. What was your example of being the man you are today and to be as masculine as you are and as loving and giving and just this big teddy bear, but you ain't no punk.
Oh, no.
You ain't no punk.
Hey, yeah, never know me.
No, I don't really know how to answer that question. It's just me. I think she's supposed to have the best at all times. So I want to make sure she has it. I want her to be protected. I want her to continue to feel safe. Like she said, she's been feeling this way about me as long as I've known her. I want that to be like forever, the rest of our lives, that she can feel safe. Even tell me too much sometimes, but I also want her to feel safe. So, and I love to love.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, if there's no other answer for how you became the way that you are, I would say it would be love.
Yeah.
God is love.
Absolutely.
And once you've embraced him, then you can love others. And I think, love for yourself too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's just, I always want to know what influenced a man to be the opposite of the stereotype.
Yes.
And
I'm glad you asked. That's a good question.
Yeah, I love to love.
Because it's not where he comes from.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine that, Scotty, that said, he told me, he said, I know where we come from. He was like, but to see you where you are now, this was at my bachelor party. He said, Patrick is the kind of guy that when I speak to them, like through text or whatever, it's good morning. And he was like, I would have never expected to hear good morning from Patrick, knowing where we come from. So I respect everybody and I love. That's just big for me.
Can we just get a nugget? What's next for the Munns? We know
No kids for sure.
No kids?
No
Okay.
children.
You got a new little baby.
Oh, we do have a
Brandy.
fur grandbaby.
Fur
We
baby.
do
Yes,
have a
we
fur
do.
baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
A grandbaby. Yeah.
Yeah, fur grandbaby.
Yeah.
Which really is just like we're real grandparents because we take care of the baby.
Yes,
not,
getting up at-
not Karina.
4 in.
Yes, Patrick
Yes.
he lets us sleep. He be up.
What's next?
We have the show, of course, rebirthing the show. We have some real estate investments, and we're taking a dive into real estate. Some other contracts, some business
Yeah.
ideas that my husband come up with, and the ministry of the Munns. We're really going to take date night as a ministry because the way that we were received on TikTok and to have blown
Yeah.
up like that overnight. And really what kept us going with TikTok, it was the comments.
Yes.
You know, if you read, and we sat and read thousands of comments that just said, I had a bad day and I watched your video.
Yes.
I cried all day and I watched your video. I seen your
Yes.
video 100 times.
Yes. I remember those days when my husband would dance with me.
Yes.
And then it's like, but he can't now because he's in a wheelchair. And, you know, our response, or mine, response to that was, if you stand in front of him and dance, he gonna dance.
He gonna dance.
Yeah, he's going to dance, you know.
Or people saying, I wish my husband would dance with
Yeah.
me. Or I can't wait until my soulmate comes.
Right,
And
right.
So just that hope just made us want to just keep going. And then we realized that so many couples will come up to us and say, we just want to go on a date with y'all. We just want to go on a date. You know, and then we realize when we go on a date that there's some troubled waters in those relationships. And they really want to hear, most of them want to hear from Patrick. How do I get my husband or boyfriend like you? You know what I'm saying? And it's the women. And I love that he can pour into the woman. And I'm not intimidated at all. As a matter of fact, I saw on a podcast the other day, they were talking about the man, their men being friends or cordial with people, with their fans. And one girl said, my friends don't even follow my husband on social media. And I thought, well, what's the harm in it? Because all my friends follow my husband, my friends, right? Because I don't fear anything is gonna happen at all. I trust my husband. And regardless if I trust the woman, I trust this man to be, you know, good to me. It's his responsibility. So I love that he can pour into those couples, both the men and the women. The women most of the time want to hear what he has to say. I would value a man's perspective as well. So
Absolutely.
the Munn ministry, we will definitely do more with that with couples. And our church, we actually were just ordained as the marriage ministry leaders. So we're going to be leading the marriage ministry over at Worship Center.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing.
Yes.
Or
That's
installed. I shouldn't say ordained. We've been installed.
Installed.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Because the church community, y'all come for me.
Because this is the custom
It's
ministry.
the cussing. We're still gonna dance on TikTok.
Absolutely.
No, we're gonna shake it. Jiggle for Jesus. We're gonna do it.
That's a good one.
But you know what? The Bible says that marriage is a representation of Christ in the church.
Yes, exactly. I heard what she said.
Yes. And how the church is Christ's bride, as she is your bride.
Exactly.
So I know everybody wants to hear, not my questions.
out with that.
With the questions. But Patrick, what can you say to a young couple, to a male, to a woman that is embarking upon this journey with someone?
Open your ears, open your heart, and be patient. Date. You know, there's a saying that what you come in doing, you have to do throughout. So I agree with that. You can't come in dating them and then a few months in, a year in, it's over. You know, you want to sit and play the game and I'm through.
Yeah.
No, this is gonna be forever. If you sign up for it, it's forever.
What about
No,
you?
we couldn't say that to our first
No.
spouses,
You
but
know,
you know,
we
we
know
know
that
this
was-
is forever.
Yeah,
We learned.
yeah,
This is forever.
absolutely.
I would say to a young couple that's embarking upon this journey to communicate.
Yes.
Learn to comprehend what's being communicated to you. And to give it your all. I know sometimes we're hurt, we're reserved, we want to hold back and make the next person work for it. They should work for your respect before they even enter your space. Once you give them access to you, don't hold them hostage for what the other person did.
Correct.
And guess what? You might be hurt by that person because people hurt people. That's just what we do as humans. You may be hurt, but at least you've given it your all. God's going to bless you, reward you, as long as you stay true to yourself.
Yes.
That would be my advice.
Absolutely. I enjoyed this time.
I enjoyed you.
I enjoyed it. I couldn't wait. And I mean, your story is so powerful and it's so relevant and it's so needed. And so I just say continue to cry loud and spare not. Continue to show your love because it is a representation of Christ and the church. And it is a Black love. It's powerful love. It has tenacity. And you guys are maybe not going to have any babies, but maybe more business babies and fur babies.
Yes, maybe some more fur babies.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Rhonda.
Pleasure.
Well, as you can see, Rhonda had the chance to interview myself and Patrick, and it was an honor to share our story with you. We couldn't have picked a better person than Rhonda to get this out of us. Thank you, Rhonda. This episode is sponsored by the Leading Lady Real Estate, owned by Rhonda Anita herself. Look her up. Please follow her. All the information is on the screen that you see here. You want to reach out to her because Rhonda is selling houses left and right, okay? So if you try to buy a house or sell a house, you want to reach out to the Leading Lady in Real Estate here in Atlanta, Rhonda Anita. Until the next time, say something.